Don't wait until game time to plan for retirement. Open your free iTrust Capital account today and get your crypto IRA. iTrust Capital is the official cryptocurrency platform of the USC Trojans. And our Women's Spotlight is brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, open 7 days a week. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts for good-for-you groceries and great prices on the freshest produce. Bailey Shoemaker is who we are talking to now. Don't get that wrong, Sean. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, Bailey, welcome to Trojans Live. As I mentioned, #1 recruit in the country as you join women's golf, USC women's golf here, already a great program. Great to have you on the show. You're from back east. I read Florida, but you said you actually grew up in New York. What was the deciding factor to get you to come all the way to LA?
Yeah, I always cared about like good like academic schools. And so like my dad, he would always like take the top 25 schools who did well in NCAAs, but he would only circle like the top 25 academically. So not Alabama, not a lot of schools, especially for business. And USC, like I just stepped foot on campus and I fell in love immediately. I looked at a lot of schools like Duke, Texas, UVA, and I mean, they were great, but just something about USC, it just felt like home.
Bailey, take us through your process in finding the sport of golf and how you fell in love with it and then ended up coming to USC.
Yeah, so my dad, he was a scratch golfer. He played league like 4 nights a week. And actually in New York, my uncle, he built his own golf course by hand, picked every single rock.
Whoa. Where in New York? Where in New York are we talking about?
It was upstate, so it was like Cooperstown. Okay. Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like how people know it. But yeah, super small town. There was just an insurance company and Chobani Yogurt Factory. That was it. Those were the only workers, and those were the only people who were like members at his course. And yeah, he would just play league every night, and my mom got off work at 4 and league started at 3, so I would watch him play like the first 5 holes of league, and that's how I learned rules so quickly and learned etiquette. Like I learned just how golf worked, and I loved it, and I had the bug, is like what my dad always said. Like I was just itching to like play it and like learn. So
that's awesome. And in the football world, they always say that quarterback recruiting starts really young, like you hear about middle school and whatnot. I was studying up on you, and you committed here real early, like 2019. How does that process work for a golfer that young in the stage? And it sounds like you were pretty confident in your decision early on. Like, speak to the maturity that you need to have to be able to be so forthright in that decision.
Yeah, I mean, my dad, he was so on top of it. He literally started looking at schools when I was 7. He like sent emails to the Stanford assistant coach. He's like, hey, like my daughter's pretty good. And he would like send swing videos, and they're like, oh, that's awesome. Like they would actually reply. And Andrea Gaston, the old coach here, like, yep. I did a visit with her, and I did a visit with like all the superstars on the team, like Gabby Ruffles, Amelia Garvey, and Aaliyah. Like I was friends with them on the Epson tour this past year, and like that's how young I started. And like I committed before some of our like sophomores have, Wow. Like it's crazy. We knew early on like what we wanted. We wanted like academics to match golf. Like at the end of the day, like you're still going to college to learn something. Like you might as well like get the most of it and get the most valuable degree you can. So yeah.
So when did you move to Florida?
2019, so like right before COVID in October. Yeah.
So who has the better golf courses, Florida or California? What's a better circuit?
Oh, I know. I can tell by that face.
Yeah, Florida. Why is Florida better?
Because it's Florida. I don't know. I was lucky enough to play at some good clubs in Florida, like Pelican. My old coach is there, and it's just different. It's just so different. I don't know. As our home courses are like Rolling Hills and Trump, and they like are on different continents. Like they're just not even the same golf course. And it's Bermuda grass here too. They're very similar. I just feel like there's more like courses in Florida, like per like square meter. I feel like everywhere you look, there's a golf course. Like you kind of got to drive out here.
How about your game? Let's talk about how do you approach it? I mean, you see a big guy like me, you think I drive it a ton. I'm more finesse on that golf course. I like the nice
soft hands.
There's no way you're putting.
I'm a finesse player. What's your game like?
I'm a finesse player.
Okay.
I cannot hit the ball, if I'm being honest. I'm a short hitter. I rely on the putter, and I feel like that's, as my dad says, like that's where the most swag is anyway. Like people think it's cool to hit it 350 like Rory or somebody.
Put it in the hole, baby.
No, literally, like it's a lot cooler when you drain an 80-footer in like Ryder Cup, Like people are gonna get more excited about that. So.
Drive for show and putt for dough, Max.
Literally.
There you go. They tell me might be flipped these days versus the golfing data and whatnot, but that's for a different conversation. You've mentioned your dad a few times in your answers, and I feel like you see that every so often in the golf world where there's a relationship where you're really tight to your dad and the influence that that can have on your game. Just speak to that relationship and the impact that he's had in your game.
Yeah, he's been fortunate enough to work from home like since I was born, and so he would always take me out on the course like all day, and I would just watch. I would just sit there and hit balls in front of him, and like he would just place me in front with a bucket of balls, and he'd like watch me hit, and I'd turn around, watch him. I was very much so like monkey see, monkey do, and I just loved it. I just loved everything he did. It was like kind of one of those things where it's like you want to be just like dad. Like you want to do everything your parent does. And so like I just picked everything up he did so quickly, and I loved it.
So that's how he got away with the golf course. Just bring your kid, right? That's all I got to do. I'm just going to bring my daughter every time.
Good move.
Did you see Sua did that the other day? Literally tweeted out, should I bring my girls to the course? Brought them and just had him on an iPad as he went around the course. So
Need him swinging the club.
So women's golf, as I mentioned, one of the best programs in this school. They were so close last year as a national runner-up. What's the conversation like in the team room about getting over the top and bringing home the big trophy this year?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of talk about WIC. You know, they're stinging from last year, and it's good incentive. And we had a rematch at Eastlake this year, and there's a lot of talk before it, and it's like. We said this in like some of our team meetings before as well. You still have to do like to the best of your ability. Like you got to go to work every day. You got to put your head down, and you just got to grind it out every single day, like 1% better every day, and just take it piece by piece. I mean, you don't just show up and you be like, oh, we're better than WIC. Like we can do it. We can just beat them.
Gotta earn it.
Yeah, we got to earn it. And I mean, we've worked really hard this fall season, and I know that Justin has said that too. Like we really got to work this fall, and I mean. It wasn't the best at Windy City, but we turned it around real quick for Stanford. I mean, we were mad. We were pissed. And obviously we showed it off, and we got to work again like the following week and in our break. I mean, we played well at Stanford.
Get them, Bailey.
All right, big semester ahead. Go get that trophy. USC women's golf, always one to watch. Check usctrojans.com for more information on Bailey and the program. Want the inside scoop on this game and all things Trojans? Be sure to sign up for the 3 Torches presented by Smart & Final. It's a free newsletter that'll hit your email inbox 3 times a week with game info, player insights, and more. Go to usctrojans.com/3torches and sign up. One more segment of Trojans Live to come on a Monday night.